to start meditating because so many times I get asked about people beginning to meditate. And there are some do's and some don'ts about beginning to meditate. And a lot of times people really don't always understand what is the purpose of the meditation or why should they start meditating. So let's talk about all of that. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I will tell you that probably the thing that people that start meditating like love most of all, and it's almost like hard to like put it into words, because a lot of times we are mentally going constantly. We are on our phones, we're texting, we're watching videos, we're watching all kinds of stuff, but we're constantly being bombarded by things that we have to think about. We have to input, take that in, because everybody will say, oh, I saw a video once that said this, or I saw a video that said this, or I read a book that said this. And so we're constantly taking input in, but that's kind of the problem. We never really kind of go to the other side, because our brain has two halves. So the side that's like the mental side, like I've got to figure this out, I've got to do this, I have to pick up this, I have to go here, I have to talk to this person, I have to do this, I have to send this email, whatever it is, that mental side goes and goes and goes and goes. The spiritual side usually kind of gets left by the wayside, and it's kind of like it doesn't always get the same attention. And so that's really what starts to balance our brain, is this meditation, and it's quieting the mind. And a lot of people are like, my mind is never quiet. It may take longer, especially if you're a person that requires a lot of interaction. There's a lot of energy, and you're always constantly going. It may take you a little bit more time to get started, but it doesn't mean that you can't get started in meditating. There's no reason why you couldn't do this. So I often tell people kind of one of the best basic number one things to do is to really just start taking some time throughout your day to literally breathing. And sometimes if it's too much to breathe to the count of 10, do 5. Start with 5 and just deep breath, and try not to let anything else, just taking in the breath, letting it out, next one in, out, and just focusing on one singular thing at a time can really help balance the energy in you. And then once you get good at 5 breaths, then you want to do 10 breaths and then 20 breaths. And just how does that make you feel? Just a more relaxed. Now, I will tell people meditating for long periods of time is something that it takes a while to get used to. People are like, oh, I can do 20 breaths, it's not a big deal. It's harder than you think, especially if you're constantly one that needs a lot of input. So the best way to begin is doing it slow, just like the breaths. Try doing like a 3 to 5 minute meditation to begin with. Just 3 to 5 minutes. Listening to a guided meditation can be a very easy one to do. I've got several on my channel, and I'll list them beneath but as well. But I will tell you, this is a great one to kind of like short, easy meditations. And you want to start with those like 1 or 2 times a day, and just getting your body used to that. Once you're doing the 3 to 5 minutes really, really well, and then you want to go to like 5 to 7 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes, on and on and on, because it's difficult to kind of keep your brain kind of calm down. Now, I will tell you, there are some things that can make things, meditating, a little bit easier, but it's really individualized. If you are a person that's kind of like wiggly and stuff like that, don't try to do a meditation where you're sitting still constantly. That's going to feel uncomfortable to you. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, I feel like, I'm in jail. I can't get out. I can't move. I can't do anything. Nah, do a meditation where you can move around and relax your energy. This happened to a couple of clients of mine, and they're good friends, and one of them is an advanced student, and one of them is like a medium student for me. She's done a Psychic 202, but hasn't gone beyond that so far. So we were doing a meditation, and it was funny because the one that was in the 202 class was like, oh my gosh, telling her friend, like, you moved so much during the meditation. You just constantly were moving. And she goes, no, I wasn't. I was perfectly still. And she was like, no, you moved back and forth. You did this, you scratched your head, you scratched your foot, that sort of thing. And I'm like, the thing is, if you're in meditation, your body's going to move like almost like you're asleep. If you're asleep and your arm itches, you're going to scratch it in your sleep. It's just the way it is. because that's just the way our bodies are meant to be. So the more you relax the energy, the easier your body's just going to take over. And that's kind of the best part about it. It's like the easy part of like your body's going to move without you. If you have an itch or a scratch or something bothers you, you're going to move away from it. Or if you're laying on one arm, you'll be like, oh, this arm's starting to fall asleep. Your body's going to naturally like flip you over in your meditation so that it's to the arm that doesn't hurt, or on your back, or on your stomach, or however that is. It's going to make the changes to make it comfortable for you and your body. So these are just a few of them. So make sure that if you're a wiggly kind of person, or one of my young students, I'll tell them the same thing, like, don't try to hold still. Allow your body just to move. Allow your body to move. And I guarantee you, before you know it, you'll be able to meditate for 20, 30, 45 minutes, an hour, however long it is. And it's not really how long you meditate, it's what are you doing in your meditation, where are you going in your meditation. We'll talk all about that in my next video. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.